Update 3.6 for Fractured Space has finally arrived, and today we're taking a quick look at all the new features added to the game. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fractured Space with Down to Earth Astronomy. Today we're taking a look at some of all the new features that's been lately been added to the game in the already applied patch 3.6 to Fractured Space. And let's just dive into it. First of all, the ship prices the long-awaited ship prices rebalancing has been implemented. That means that all ships now cost the same, cost 990 platinum if you want to buy a ship with platinum. And the ship prices has also been reworked. Now, I like the fact that they have evened out the platinum price for the ships regardless of their credit price, because it underlines the effect that all the ships should be equally matched. I mean, this is the ships are all supposed to be able to compete against each other. There shouldn't be one ship that's better than the other. They should all just be different. And evening out the prices like that really underlines that. I think it's a shame that they don't do the same thing. You kind of still have a balancing thing, because they have some ships that now cost 1.7 million credits. That's a lot. And some of them you can still get for 250, I think. So in general, the ship seems to be slightly more pricey. I don't know if SKH Gaming felt like people were progressing too fast when playing the game, or they wanted to encourage people a bit more to do maybe just hand in some credit, hand in some money, buy some platinum, just buy the ship that they want. Because, well, 1.7 million, that's a lot of credits. Then, of course, one of my absolute favorite features that in this game, not that I'm going to be using it that much, but they added ship rotation. And what ship rotation is, basically, it seems like there will always be at least around 4 ships on rotation. That means you will have these ships available to you in your hangar, regardless of whether you have actually unlocked the ship or not. You will always have these ships, or not always, as long as they're on rotation, you will have them available. You can take them out in both normal fights and PvP. So you can try them out, see if there's something for you, or maybe if something you want to purchase. So that's great. I think it's especially for newer players who maybe not familiar with the ships, having the option to select some ships that they maybe haven't tried before, and getting out, trying them, see if it's something for you. Because I've tried a few times. You've been saving up for this very exciting ship. You've been seeing other people doing very well. You've maybe taken it into the firing range, try to play it a bit in solo play, and it feels like the ship performed very well. And when you take it into PvP, it's just not as good as you thought it was. And that feeling's really, I think that can put a lot of people off. So this gives people a chance to actually try the different ships before they take them into, before they buy them properly. So I think that's absolutely great that they're doing that. Now, if we go into to the daily mission, that's where the daily missions are. What was it? Of course. Here we go. Now I finally found it. Daily rewards. Now you can see, you're probably familiar with these. These are the 30-day roads that you go through every day. You log in, you progress one step ahead in the road, and you get some of these prizes as you can see them here. You would get some gold drop pods, credits on day, and at certain days you would get some different skins, which is actually pretty neat. This time it's for the Sentinel. These are being replaced. And they're being replaced in favor of only 7-day roads. So instead of having a whole month where you go through a road now, if you log in every day, of course, you now will only have 7-day roads you have to go through. And then it seems like the benefit from each day is fixed. So you're going to get like credits the first 5 days, and then a little bit of platinum the last day. I kind of feel like it's a shame they're gonna just go out and hand you it. I mean, it's not that exciting to log in and say, oh, I'm gonna have to log in to get my daily 9,000 credits. I mean, sure, it's okay, but I feel like I like this a lot more, where you actually have something. I feel like you have this long road. I want to progress. I want to log in so I can get closer to get that new skin or something like that. But I guess that's something that can change in the future. Again, I haven't seen the new roads. Obviously, if you're already on one of these roads or paths or whatever you want to call them, you will have to finish that first. Once you're done with that, you'll then be switched over and begin on a new 7-day road instead, and go to the new 7-day cycle. So I personally would like to see them fiddle a bit with the rewards. I mean, just getting credits and platinum is, platinum is nice, but credits kind of like meh. So I would really see if they would do more like drop pods and skins and different things you can go through. So like if you really have something special, especially at the end, so you have something you feel like I need to get in so I can get this item that's at the end of the road. So a bit more encouraging people to get in. But anyway, I hope that's something they're going to change in the future. Now, let's head back to the hangar, if I can remember my controls here. There we go. Now, you probably noticed already that there's been a few changes in the hangar as well. Now, you can see here, now we still have the offensive effect, the defensive effect, the utility effect, but we now also have a mobility effect. And that's how good the ships are in the different categories. Previously, they just got a grade from 1 to 10, which was kind of low, I think. I mean, the only having 10 different classes to put them into, and really, I don't think any of the ship had less than 5 or higher than 9. So in reality, in any of the categories, so in reality, you were really only stuck with very few categories. Now they seem to have a range from, I guess technically from 0 to 100, but I doubt there's any ship that has either 0 or 100 in any category. Not as far as I know, at least. But regardless, now you can then compare the ships. You can hover over a ship out to see how they compare with each other. So you compare their stats. So if you feel like, oh, I like a ship, a certain ship, let's say, I'm a big fan of the Protector, for instance. I could then go through all these and see, okay, can I find something where the stats of the ship maybe is similar? Or maybe that's a ship I would like. So maybe we went down and we looked at some of the other support ships. Like, oh, I could look here and say, oh wow, the Paladin stats, that's very similar. Maybe I would like the Paladin if I already like the Protector. So I guess that's a good way that you can go in, you can try and find the ships that you like, and then find ships that maybe have a similar balance between the key stats in the game. Yes, so let's move on, and I'm just going through the things pretty quickly because there's a lot in this patch. If I want to dwell and go into more detail with it, it would be a very long video. But I mentioned in my Hello Day video that that point defense has been changed to automatic. And I tried a few games with automatic point defense, and I found it very underwhelming. But you now have the option here to again choose between whether you want the automated point defense or the manual point defense. Manual point defense is exactly as you remember it. It's an activated ability that uses power that shoots down enemy fighters and missiles. Now, if you use the automated, it will automatically activate and it doesn't use power. So why not always go with the automated? Well, it does a lot less damage. They say that it shouldn't be that much damage, but I really feel like if there's an incoming missile barrage, I feel like the automated defense is not going to take down as many missiles as I feel like I could do if I had the manual. But again, I guess this is a good choice for newer players, because I mean, there's already a lot of things to keep track of when you're playing Fracture Space, and taking one of them out for a new player, okay, now we're just going to take care of your point defense. You're not going to be as effective as you could be, but we're just going to take the point defense, and you just take care of flying your ship and shooting down enemies or healing enemies or whatever you're doing. You just take care of flying your ship, we'll take care of the point defense. It makes it a little bit easier for newer players to get into it. And I guess it's all about like enhancing that new player experience to try and keep people in the game, try to keep people engaged, keep people coming back to the game. So again, good to see that they're trying to get to keep the newer players and get more new players into the game. Now, for the next part here, we need to move into the actual battle. Now, when you load into the battle, you now see this handy little tip screen that shows you some stats about your ship. I guess that's what I really hope if you take a ship into combat, that you've already looked at it in some detail, and that you know just approximately what the ship can do. But what has also been added into the game is now when you go into the team list overview, you can now hover over the ships to get to get some information about the ships, their strengths, their weaknesses, and you can also hover over the individual modules so you can get information about what the individual modules do. So if you suddenly got killed by a ship and you're like, what was that ability he used? You now have the opportunity while you respawn to go in, look specifically what modules he has, what they do. And again, it just helps to make newer players and to players to learn other ships. Like having that opportunity to go in the heat of the battle, maybe not while you're being shot at, but while you're respawning at least, to go in, have a look at the different abilities, see what the enemy ships could do, maybe see what your teammates could do if you're like, oh, why didn't that ship heal me? And then you can go and realize, oh, that ship is not a healer, he doesn't have any healing abilities, so I don't know. Something like that. Talking about being killed, when you get killed now, there's a new death scene that basically just pops up here at the bottom, as you can see, with a small bar showing some basic information about who killed you. And if you click space, you will then be able to get a more detailed report showing the crew, the loadout, and who supported them. So pretty much the same information. One thing that I don't like though is, I mean, you can still, as before, you can click your mouse and you can switch between your friendly ships, so you can keep track on what's going on in the battle while you're respawning. But what I don't like is the ability to go back to that information screen after I decided to click on and actually watch my teammates, because maybe I just got killed by something, maybe it was a ghost or any other cloaking ship. I didn't see where he was coming from. He just suddenly killed me out of nowhere, which happens from time to time when you're playing a ship like the Protector. And I wanted to see where was he, what happened, or maybe there was something very exciting going on in the middle of the Gamma fight. I wanted to know how much he performed, and then after I've been seeing how that battle unfolded, maybe I want to go back and then watch the death scene to see, okay, so who actually supported. Then I want to go back and get the details, but I can't. I have to first watch the death scene or info board or whatever you want to call it before I can go out. I cannot go back. That's my point. I cannot go back and watch that information board after I decide to click on. And sometimes if you are if it's very hectic, you can accidentally just click by pure reflect. Then you cannot get back to that. I think that's a shame, and I think that they could very easily implement. I mean, keep the bar at the bottom or allow you to click space again to get it back up or something like that. But yeah. Then another thing that actually took me by surprise after I began playing in the new patch, there is no longer a gamma warning. It took me a game or two to realize that I didn't hear the warning for gamma 6. I must have missed it for somehow. I must have been too engaged in something else in the game. And then I began to notice, but nope, it seems like they removed the warning for gamma, and I find that weird. I mean, when we look back at the other change they made, it done a lot to try and keep new players in the game. Now suddenly you remove something, and as a new player, maybe you're not that familiar with what is the gamma sector. I mean, I know you should probably play through tutorials. I actually haven't played the tutorials after they've been changed. But I don't know, I just feel like it was nice to have that audible warning when you're already busy looking at where are your teammates, how are your cooldowns on all your abilities, where should you position, can you get into cover, is it safe to go out of cover. There's a lot of stuff to keep track on the screen already. Having to look at a timer as well, I mean, I know you can do it at a glance, but getting that audible warning was, for me, a lot better. And I think it's really a shame that they removed that. And then finally, once the battle is over, you get over to the results screen, and that has been overhauled as well. It's now divided into to different tabs that shows you the overall status of your team, how did your team perform. You can even go in, and this is actually one of my favorite new features. You can actually go in now, you can compare your statistics directly to other players in the match. So for instance, in this game here, I just played my Protector. And maybe I want to say, okay, how did I perform compared to the enemy Paladin, which would be their counterpart, would be their logistics ship. And we can see here that he healed a little bit more than me, but yeah, we can compare our statistics. We did, I would say he did a little more damage as well. Again, you compare, he maybe performed a little bit better in that match than I did. But again, you can go in, you can compare, and you can see how you performed, both to your own teammates, but also the enemy teams, which is something that's That's very nice to see. And then, of course, you still have the screen that shows you the progression of your crew and experience and all that stuff, so you can keep track of that if you want to. But anyway, that's my my overview of the changes made in the latest update for Fracture Space. I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, give the video a like down below and consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, I will see you guys in space.